Do one thing every day that scares you. I'm Anthony, and I'm gonna take you through today's PF Go workout. We're gonna start our warm-up with 2 rounds of 10 each, snow angels, push-ups, and up-downs. Now, snow angels, lay on your stomach. You're gonna have your hands straight out in front of you. Lift your chest up off the floor. You're gonna move your hands all the way down to your hips and all the way back up together. The goal is to keep the arms straight the entire time as you go. Hands touch the hips, and reset. Cool, now from here we have push-ups. We're gonna go straight body, chest to deck, not hand release, nothing fancy like that. If you wanna drop down to the knees, you totally can do that too. Chest hits, press back up. Now after your last rep, you're gonna be in a tall plank position. We have up downs. Hop in and stand. Down, down, and up. Good, make sure to keep the core nice and tight as those feet kick back. This is a really nice one because you start on the floor, then you work your way up, then you work your way up from there. 10, 10, and 10, 2 rounds each. Now, our second part of the warm-up is alternating single leg sit to stand. We really like going with the long names. Then we have alternating Samson stretch and prisoner lunges with a knee lift. Now, these single leg sit to stand, these can be a little bit fun. I know you're probably not all gonna be able to do these, but that's okay. Give yourself some room on the floor. You're gonna stand on one leg, drop to the floor, roll back, and stand, right? So if Erica's having trouble with it, it's totally fine if you do too. We're gonna roll back, have one leg, and get back up. Now, one of the ways to make this a little more fun is tie a resistance band around something. As you sit up, grab onto it and pull. It'll help you stand up. Or you can have a buddy, your quarantine buddy of course, stand out there with a hand and give you a little bit of a boost. So we have 5 on each leg, switching back and forth every time. If you can't get all the way up, no problem, you can just do some jumping air squats. Now our Samson stretch. Big step forward with one leg, back knee comes to the ground, reach all the way up and behind you. We've done these so far this week. Remember, the goal is to go slow and maximize the stretch. It's not about going hard or going fast. We just want to get a full body stretch all the way through. Now our last exercise, prisoner lunges with a knee lift. So hands up behind the head, elbows flared out. We're gonna do 10 in a row on one leg. It's a reverse lunge, and you pick that knee right back up. Now our goal is to make sure that there's no wobbling or no extra steps. Just take a big step back, tap your knee, and reset. Now, after you've done 2 rounds of that, because I know you're gonna love to go back to the sit to stand, we have a 10-minute EMOM alternating between 2 different exercises. Minute 1, 15 dumbbell pullovers, and we're gonna use the med ball as a bench. Then minute 2, you have 15 dumbbell bench presses off the med ball. Now, the pull over, we're gonna do it with a pair of dumbbells. Now, what we wanna do is you're gonna bridge up first. The hands are gonna go up nice and straight. It's very okay to use a single dumbbell here for this part. Now her arms are bent and her core is completely stable. She's gonna slowly drop those weights up and over her head, going as far as she can without a change in the midline. Then she's gonna snap them right back in. We want the elbows bent to give you a little bit of wiggle room in that position, but our goal is to reach down nice and far. Remember, still, and that's where all your motion is. Take about 2 or 3 seconds even to go down, because this might be a newer movement for you, and I want you to get used to it before we throw in a whole bunch of weight. Now, 15 reps, it'll take you about 30, 40 seconds to go through that. We'll rest the remainder. We'll pick those dumbbells up on your hips, bridge up again, and we have bench presses. So you're lowering down so those dumbbells hit your chest or your shoulder, and then you're locking out. Now, you guys can see her angle. She's not all the way out because this puts the shoulder in a little bit of an impinged position. And we're not all the way in because we don't want this to be just a tricep exercise. We hit a nice smooth angle, hold that angle on the way down, and lock it out. Thank you. Cool, if you have a bench, you're welcome to use a bench for all of those. I would go heavy on the dumbbell bench press and then just use a single dumbbell for the pullovers. That works best for me. Now, time to move on to our conditioning for today. 4 rounds, 4 time with a 15-minute cap. So everybody stops at 15 minutes no matter where you are, but our hope is that you'll be done well before that. You have 20 back rack forward lunges, you have 20 up downs over the bar, 20 dumbbell weighted sit-ups, 4 times. Now, let's go over each movement. Back rack forward lunges. If you want to use a barbell, you'll clean it, jerk it, put it on your back. If you want to use dumbbells or a kettlebell, you'll hold it in the front or on your shoulders. So we're going to do a forward lunge, tap that back knee and return to center. Big step, and back. Now, a forward lunge is more difficult than a reverse lunge because it's a bigger range of motion. Now, the weight for this workout, what we wrote out, it shouldn't be extremely heavy, right? Normally for a move like a deadlift or a back squat, 135 pounds or 95 pounds is relatively light. Since we're doing alternating single leg work, 95 pounds is heavy for a lunge, but light for everything else. So don't overestimate this one. Stay a little bit on the lighter side, because remember, we have a 15-minute cap. Now, our second exercise, you're gonna put that bar, those dumbbells on the ground. We have an up down with a hop over the bar. Your hands should be slightly in front of where the weights are. When you kick back, you pull those feet back in. They should be even with that weight, and then you hop on over to the other side. You're welcome to step over. Hopping just makes it a little bit more fun. Then our last exercise, you're gonna go down to the floor for weighted sit-ups. We're gonna use an ab mat here to make a little bit of a bigger stretch in the core. With a dumbbell, you're gonna hug that thing nice and tight to your chest. We want it nice and tight, no movement. It's definitely not leaving your chest. Now, if you don't have a dumbbell and you've been using that medicine ball, we can do the exact same thing. You can give it a big bear hug, or you can touch the ground over your head and come on back and touch the ground between your legs. Cool, so 4 rounds of 20 lunges, 20 up downs, 20 weighted sit-ups. Your goal is to do all 20 reps of each exercise without taking a break, where your only rest is in between exercises. Hit this one hard, hit this one fast, keep your core nice and tight, and let us know if you were able to finish it under the cap. Have a great workout and a great rest of your day. Smart people learn from everything and everyone. Average people from their experiences. Stupid people already have all the answers. I'm Anthony, and I'm gonna take you through today's PF Go workout. Our warm-up today is gonna start with 10 calories of cardio or 15 burpees. Then we're gonna pull our feet together. We have 20 calf raises. Have your hands nice and relaxed at your sides. We're gonna go up as high as we can on our toes. Make sure you're pulling those heels together as you pop up and then lower right back down. Take it nice and slow, give your calves a chance to warm up. Now we're gonna grab a jump rope. We have 30 single unders. The first time through, we want you to jump as low as possible and do as little movement as you can. Now we'll start that over from the top, 10 calories of cardio or 15 burpees, then 20 calf raises. Now these 30 single unders, we want you to jump as high as you can. Good. The second set should take you way longer than the first set because you're doing a lot more motion. That rope has to travel a lot slower to accommodate your super high jump. Now we'll finish that off with a second round, and then we have 10 clean pulls, 10 high hang muscle cleans, and 10 push presses. Now here we go. We're gonna grab a barbell for this, but you can do everything else with a pair of dumbbells exactly the same. Now clean pulls. We're gonna lower down to the top of the knee. We're gonna stand up and shrug and pull. Stand, shrug, and pull. Now what's important to know is that you stand up all the way, you shrug, and all that happens, then you pull right at the last second. The only hard part of that high pull should be that last little inch of trying to keep it slow. Can you like pause up top for me for a second? And hold and then down, right. So we want a little bit of a lag because that bar is moving up nice and fast. So we have 10 clean pulls from the hang. Now we're gonna do high hang muscle cleans. So we're gonna dip straight down, the bar is gonna stay at the level of the pockets. Now you're actually gonna turn this one over, but it should still have the same principles. Stand, shrug, pull, and drop those elbows underneath. Can you do the same thing with a little lag and then drop? Pull and drop. Good. I wanna see a separation between those two. Up, pull, drop, and repeat. Now, once we're done there, after our 10th rep, we're gonna leave that bar in the front rack. You've done enough cleans so far. We have 10 push presses. We're gonna bend the knees about 2 inches, your torso should stay nice and vertical. As you press the weight up, you should press it a little bit behind you for a full lockout. Thank you. Now we'll go through those hang high clean pulls, then we'll go through the high hang muscle cleans with a turnover, and then 10 push presses 2 times. Now, our strength today, there's 2 ways you can tackle this. If you're gonna use a barbell, we have 2 hang power cleans and 2 shoulder to overhead every other minute. So you'll do 5 sets in 10 minutes. Now, if you're not gonna use a barbell, we're gonna do the same thing, but just every minute instead. So you'll do twice as many reps every 60 seconds you'll go. So every minute on the minute, 2 hang power cleans and 2 shoulder to overhead with dumbbells, or every other minute, 2 hang power cleans, 2 shoulder overhead. Now, let's go through this pattern. Hang power cleans. What I wanna see is that every single rep comes down all the way to the top of the knees. Notice how far back her knees are. Can you bring them really far forward for me for a second? This is one of the most common faults we see. The chest is up too high, it's all quads. Push those knees back, get those hamstrings nice and loaded. That bar comes up the thigh, jump and drop and stand. Right back down, pause, and then reset. 2 reps. Now after the second rep, you're gonna leave that bar up on your shoulders. We're gonna do a push jerk because it's the most efficient. You have a dip, a drive, and a dip, and then you stand up to take it up and overhead. Erica's pretty strong and pretty good at these, so she can connect them really well. It's totally okay to take a pause, do a little dip, and stand back up. You can also do a push press as well, just like we did in the warm-up. Good, thank you, and lower it down. Now our idea for the barbell, every 2 minutes, 0, 2, 4, 6, and 8, you're gonna go. We want you to increase weight every single set, or until you feel like if you increase the weight anymore, the form would start to fall apart. So as heavy as you can, increasing over time while still maintaining pristine form. If you're using dumbbells, you're going every minute for 10 sets, so you'll be working a little bit more, but you're only doing 2 and 2. So don't be afraid to use something heavy for this too. Now, after you're done your 10 minutes, we have a little bit of a complicated workout. It's a Tabata sandwich. At the beginning and at the end, you have 4 minutes of 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest. We're gonna put you on a calorie bike, calorie rower, calorie ski erg, jump rope, or burpees. 20 seconds, as many as you can, then you have 10 seconds to do absolutely nothing. So 8 rounds, 4 minutes of work. You have 1 minute rest from 4 to 5, and then we start a 5-minute EMOM. Every minute on the minute, you have 30 double unders or 60 single unders, and then 5 hang power clean to jerks. Now, double unders. We got a jump rope right here. We already warmed up that fast rope and that high jump, so now we're just gonna put it together. 1 jump, 2 turns of the rope. You hear that nice little good, thank you. That's exactly what we're looking for. If you're not doing doubles, just do 60 singles, keep it nice and fast, keep it nice and short. Now, we're gonna pick up the bar. As soon as you're done, your hang power cleans, or your double unders. Hang power clean, this is where we do some nice fast lifts. Hang clean catch, drive it right up and overhead. Good, whatever way you choose, you should be able to do all 5 of these unbroken every single time. So every minute on the minute, 30 jump rope, 60 singles, and 5 hang power cleans. This will take you about 40, 45 seconds. So we want you to cut off the jump rope at about 35, then do those cleans in about 10, 15 seconds, and then rest the remainder. So minutes 5 to 10, you're working on jump rope and hang power cleans. Then 10 to 11, we're resting doing nothing. Then 11 to 15, we're gonna redo that Tabata, and your goal is to hit the same number of reps or calories as you did in the first set. We want to know, were you able to hit the same number or did you beat it in the second set? Let us know in the comments below. Have a great workout and a great rest of your day. Do what you feel in your heart to be right, for you'll be criticized anyway. I'm Anthony, and I'm gonna take you through today's PF Go workout. We're gonna start our warm-up with 600 meters of running. That's about 3 minutes of a light jog. Come on back into the house inside, or we're gonna do 2 rounds of 10 air squats, 10 bent over rows, and 10 scap push-ups. Here we go. Air squats, feet hip width apart or a little bit wider. We're gonna drop those hips down until the hips pass the level of the knees. Take a nice and easy pace. We're not rushing here, we're just warming back up. So you got 10 air squats, then we're gonna pick up either a pair of dumbbells or a barbell. We're gonna drop that chest until it's parallel with the ground. Then we're gonna pull the barbell into the chest. Good, and relax. Cool, now we're gonna go down to a push-up position. Our arms are gonna stay totally straight, and all we're gonna do is work right here in between the shoulder blades. Sag the shoulder blades together, push and spread them out nice and far. At the bottom, your back should be in a little bit of a U. At the top, it should be in a little bit of a C, like a nice hard curve at the top. Then we'll go through air squats, bent over rows, and scap push-ups one more time, and then it's time to move on to our strength portion for today. We have 3 sets of barbell or dumbbell front squats. If you're using a barbell, we're gonna do 8, 8, and 8. Every rep starts with a clean from the floor. If you're using dumbbells, we're gonna go 16, 16, 16. Either way, the weights start on the ground. Now, Erica's gonna get all set up. The first rep is a hang power clean. That way we'll give you a chance to stand up with that weight, get nice and set, and get yourself ready. Take a deep breath in and drop down nice and low and breathe out as you stand. Deep breath in, lower, and rise. Now you see her pace. 1 rep about every 3.5 seconds. This is what we're looking for. What we don't want you to do is stand that thing up, do 1 or 2 and go, and you just suck in wind, and then you take a little break and relax. You can put it down. So we want to hold a steady, consistent pace, rep to rep to rep to rep. So something around 30 seconds or so. Each set should be the same. Now, if you're doing 16 reps, it'll be a little bit slower, about 45 seconds to a minute, and that's okay too. Now our goal here is to start set number 1 at a weight. 16, 8, doesn't matter. Then set number 2 will go a little bit heavier. Set number 3 will be the heaviest one of them all. That's our target. If you want to go on a certain time, I would do this every 3 to 4 minutes. The choice is yours. If you're a little bit heavier, give yourself a little bit more time to rest in between sets. Either way, we're just doing some front squats with a little bit of weight. Now, on to our conditioning for today. We have a 13-minute AMRAP, lucky number 13 for Friday. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on, strict pull-ups or bent over rows, and 2, 4, 6 front squats or goblet squats, then 3, 6, 9 burpees. So the first round will be 1 strict pull-up or bent over row. So let's do a bent over row here. Again, dumbbell, barbells, kettlebells, medicine balls, all the options work for you. So you drop that chest, boom, 1 rep, and down, super easy. Now, we're gonna grab onto that weight again, shake your hands out, throw it up onto your shoulders, and you have 2 front squats. 1, 2, these should be fast. Then they go down to the ground, you turn to the side, and we have 3 burpees. Hands down to the floor, kick back, chest goes all the way down to the ground, and bring it on back up. You're not doing a lot of pushing today, so don't be afraid to get your arms involved. So the first round is 1 pull-up, 2 back squats, or 2 front squats, 3 burpees. The second round is 2 pull-ups, 4 front squats, 6 burpees. The third round will be 3, 6, and 9, and so on. So you saw how hard it is for me to keep track of it. So what I would do is take a piece of chalk or a piece of paper and write down my rounds. 1, 2, 3, 2, 4, 6, 3, 6, 9. That's the easiest way to remember it. We'd love to know how far you got or how many full rounds you completed. Let us know in the comments below. Have a great workout and a great rest of your day. Whatever you are, be a good one. I'm Anthony, and I'm gonna take you through today's PF Go workout. We're gonna start our warm-up with 2 rounds of 10 deadlifts, 10 presses, and 20 Russian twists, all with a med ball. Now, med ball deadlift, we're gonna put that thing in between your legs, arms nice and straight, fingertips are always pointing towards the ground. Shoulder blades squeeze nice and tight, the knees are back, your hips are high, nice gentle tap. Then when you're done your 10th rep, do a little curl or a clean. We got 10 presses. Now the fingertips are always pointing up towards the ceiling. After you're done your 10 med ball presses, we'll go down to the floor for a Russian twist. Now we have 20 reps, left, right is 2 for a total of 20. Erica's a real tough lady here, so she's keeping her feet up in the air. If you wanna make it nice and tough, pick the feet up. If you're not feeling like it, remember it is a warm up, just let them come down to the ground. Now, our second triplet is gonna be ground to overhead, squats, and sit-ups. So we're gonna take that deadlift overhead press and combine them. Starting in between the legs, you're gonna snap that weight up and your fingertips go from pointing down to pointing up. I never wanna catch them anywhere in the middle. They're either pointing down or they have a quick snap to pointing up. Good, now you're gonna lower that ball down onto the chest after your last rep and you have 10 squats. You guys are pros at front squats and goblet squats. We've done a ton of them this week. 10 reps there, and now we have med ball sit-ups. So we're gonna go straight legs, reach over your head, tap the ground, then sit up and tap by your heels. The further you can reach, the better. Try and increase that range of motion every rep to loosen up that posterior chain. Then we'll take a little break, we'll go through that set all over again, and then it's time to move on to our strength. 16, 12, 8, 3 sets, push press, med ball, ground to overhead. Now, what we're looking for is you're gonna do 16 push press, 16 ground to overhead, 12 push press, 12 ground to overhead, 8 push press, 8 ground to overhead, then you rest 90 seconds, and you do that whole thing again, then you rest in 90 seconds, and then you do it a third time. So 16, 12, 8 times 3. So here we go. We have a really light pair of dumbbells or a light pair of barbells or a light single dumbbell, that would work too. You're gonna do a little dip and a drive. Dip, drive. We want all 16 reps to be unbroken. Then you're gonna gently and quietly put the weights down on the floor. We're not dropping anything, it's not nearly that heavy. Then you're gonna tap that med ball in between your legs and whip it up and overhead. 16, 16, 12, 12, 8, 8, then 90 seconds to go. Whew. This is the real arm burner. This is a blast of a workout today. You definitely don't wanna miss this one. Now, 90 seconds rest, 16, 12, 8, 90 seconds rest, and a third set, and then it's time to move on to our post-workout strength here. We switched it up a little bit on you. We gotta make it a little bit different sometimes. Now, what we're doing as a cool down or a slowing your heart rate down, 4 sets of dumbbell skull crushers, then 4 sets of empty barbell reverse grip curls. Now, we'll start with the skull crushers. So we're gonna lay down on our backs. Here, the elbow and the upper arm stays pinned in place, boom, like a vise. You're gonna lower that weight, just bending the arms as low as you can, and then snap those arms nice and straight. Lower down. We want the dumbbells to be outside of your ears so you're not actually in risk of crushing your head. And then the other thing we wanna make sure of is your elbow isn't traveling forward, then it's just a bench press. So this is a lightweight, lock that arm in place, lower back, and snap. Good, think about like a nice solid karate chop. Cool, now from there, we're gonna try and do 15 to 20 reps. Our goal is the first 2 sets that you do 20, then maybe the third set you only get 18, and then that 4th set you're struggling to get all 15 in. Now when you're done with those, we're gonna rest 30 seconds and jump onto the bar reverse curls or dumbbell reverse curls. Reverse curls are palms starting facing your thighs. Snap them up to your shoulders and lower them back down. We want to be as strict as possible. Face this way for me. Just like in the skull crushers, that elbow is pinned nice and tight. The only thing that's moving is the forearm. Good, relax, thank you. So what we want you to do is go through all of those exercises, take your time through. This is just a fun way to get some extra arm work in because the conditioning piece that was first wasn't hard enough. This workout is a blast. It's a lot different than we normally do, so enjoy the different format. Let me know what weights you use for the skull crushers and the reverse curls in the comments below. Have a great workout and a great rest of your day.